it comes to religious belief, there's two sides to the story as to justifying oneself in believing in God or having belief in miracles or religious experiences and the like. There's two sides to it, which has gone back, since in philosophy ever since the modern period and then in the 19th century period of philosophy. There's either Fideism or there's rational religious belief. In the 19th century, there was this debate between Jacobi and Mendelssohn, which were two. Mendelssohn was Jewish. The other one was Christian, I think. Yeah, Jacobi was Jewish. They were in this debate, and Jacobi, I don't recall which held what position, and I have two videos about it that I made a long time ago, that are probably in my 19th century philosophy playlist. But the whole thing here is we have the possibility of epistemically and rationally justifying your belief in God, or just taking the stance of Fideism. And Fideism pretty much is just saying that you recognize that believing there to be a God is irrational, illogical, epistemically irresponsible, and mostly wrong to everybody else, but you're still going to hold it because of certain things that have happened to you or whatever. Fideism is just saying that, hey, I know that to everyone else that this belief in God is illogical and epistemically irresponsible and irrational, and believing in this God violates epistemic duties, but I'm still going to believe in God in spite of all that. On the other hand, we have the possibility of epistemically justifying your belief in a God, and thus your belief in God being then rational and logical. Well, not really logical. I'll put that word out, but still rational, epistemically responsible, and not violating any epistemic obligations. Religious epistemology is just the epistemology having to do with beliefs in religious experience, beliefs in miracles, beliefs in God Himself, and as to how they are justified, if they are true in relation to justification and knowledge, and how that all works. Some good articles on that would be Alan Plantinga's Religious Belief Without Evidence, Alston's religious experience and religious belief, along with Poyman's critique of religious experience. But in all of philosophy of religion, whether it be the natural theology, and what I mean by natural theology is things like the ontological, cosmological, and teleological arguments for God's existence, whether it be natural theology, arguments from religious experience, arguments by miracles, from whatever within the whole philosophy of religion in the contemporary sense, whatever that may be, this whole thing in philosophy of religion is aimed at, it's either positive in that it's trying to, or the theorists of this branch of philosophy are trying to create a good case for rational belief in God or religious experience or miracles and the like, or it's negative, people like William Rowe and Dawkins and people like that, who are aimed at trying to use things like this to show that it's irrational and irresponsible to have any kind of religious belief in God Himself, or miracles, or religious experience, or whatever. So if you, in this video, you kind of just want to say that if you are of a certain religious belief, what route should you go down? If I recall correctly, Jacobi in the 19th century, in the pantheist controversy, having to do, it kind of centered around Spinoza also. But if I recall correctly, Jacobi was the one who was stating that believing in any kind of God, any kind of religious belief, is illogical, irrational, and irresponsible, and you just have to keep on going and going outside of logic, and understanding that your religious beliefs are illogical, and just keep on going like that. If you are a Christian or a Jew or whatever, you have to keep on going on with that, and, accepting the fact that your beliefs are illogical to everyone else. While Mendelssohn, the Jew of this whole debate, he was giving the argument that in a certain way of talking about it, religious belief of God, miracles, experience, or whatever, is logical via, I think back then it was via methods of natural theology. So should one be a defideist? Should one just recognize, hey, that this is illogical, but to believe in God, you have to go outside the realms of logic and reason? Or should you go down the route of trying to prove somehow that your religious beliefs are rational? Personally, I think that Fideism is half wrong. Okay, I am a Christian. I do believe in a God. However, I think that via the writings of people like Alston and Plantinga, and even Poyman, you can show how via one's noetic structure. A noetic structure is just, according to Plantinga, this is Alvin Plantinga's word. The noetic structure is the system of beliefs, your structure of all the beliefs you have connected together in this whole system or structure. I think that a belief being rational or not depends upon, one, a Christian epistemic practice, or just any kind of epistemic practice, which is from Alston. Alston had the idea of there being a Christian practice, of a Christian epistemic practice, and a perceptual epistemic practice. A belief being rational, a religious belief being rational, depends upon the epistemic practice it was formed in, and also the noetic structure that the belief is a part of. Now, I think that God Himself and the things that He does are beyond logic. They are beyond reason and logic. However, the beliefs we have of Him are not. And if God does talk to me, if I do have a religious experience, if I do have some kind of religious experience which causes me to, have these beliefs, my belief in God is connected to, it's connected to my experience, my belief of having had the experience of that God or whatever. And I believe what I believe because of other things that have happened to me and other beliefs within that structure. And I continue to form beliefs with no longer within the perceptual practice of Alston, but now in the Christian epistemic practice, the perceptual practice. I have videos on Alston's article. I have video on Plantinga's article, and I have video on Poyman's article. all of that, it's based on, when I start to believe in God, I believe. I stopped forming beliefs within the perceptual practice, and I moved towards forming beliefs in the Christian practice. The perceptual practice, according to Alston, is one that hits upon regularities and laws and, empirical, logical things, and that's how we build up knowledge, I guess, within that practice. However, in the Christian practice, things don't work that way because it's recognizing that there are anomalies via God Himself. So that's how we're going to form beliefs, based upon that itself. So personally, I think that having a rational, epistemically responsible belief in God doesn't depend upon the world and how the world shows that there to be no God via evolution and abiogenesis and all that stuff, because all that stuff within the perceptual practice of forming beliefs would refute any kind of God belief, and atheists who will go against Christians are definitely going to criticize from that perceptual epistemic practice. But a religious belief being rational depends upon the practice it was formed in, and also the beliefs that are near to it within the noetic structure. However, so like, if I just if today I had if this morning I was an atheist, and then by no reason at all I became a Christian, and having belief in God via no experience or whatever, it was just like on a whim or a stupid decision, that would be an epistemically irrational and irresponsible belief to have, and it would violate epistemic duties. However, within a noetic structure, if a religious experience occurs and more beliefs are built upon having that experience, having a belief in a God is therefore not going to be irrational. Thanks. If you think I've messed something up, or if you think I've wrong, post comments. It's either here or here, depending on what device you're on. And also, if you have any questions, or if you want to argue with me, please comment. Thank you.